covered by the First Amendment. It's also not prohibited by law, and there's been so much overwrought claim. There are people who are talking about treason. I can't believe the New York Times had an op-ed yesterday in which treason was mentioned.
People are saying, you know, this could be treason, which is facially absurd.
I really think it's absurd to say this could be treason. It just doesn't rise to that level.
The president's former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, thinks the White House needs to get much tougher on cracking down on leaks.
Anybody, and I mean anybody. And you want to charge him with treason, so he should face the death penalty for being duped into a meeting about something else? I mean, it is absolutely crazy. He's not a seasoned political operative. Like Kimberly said, he's just trying to help his father. And if there's something wrong with just trying to help your father, then I guess he's guilty. We're all guilty.
Lock us up. But one of the things, though, is, and Corey Lewandowski was getting to that in that soundbite, Greg, is that the leaks are actually coming from the inside. So they established, I think it was Axios this morning said, that the White House is not under any illusions. They understand they have a PR problem. They don't think they have a legal problem, at least not yet. But the PR problem is actually sort of internal sabotage, and that could cause them more problems.
Yeah, I don't care. I honestly don't care. The more alarmed the press becomes, the more I believe America is becoming exhausted. These stories are becoming so intense and so over the top, and they're so interested in relitigating the past instead of the future. It's not about, we know as Americans, it's not about collusion. It's about settling the score. And I would think, yeah, we might do the same thing because we'd be angry over an election, but at a certain point you got to let it go. I mean, if I could redefine collusion as the collusion between the media, academia, and the entertainment industry, who've been trying to brainwash us for decades over the dumbest ideologies. We've been victims of collusions all of our lives. The narrative here is that the Trump presidency is in disarray. That's what we know because that's what we elected. We are okay with disarray. We elected somebody because they don't have experience in politics. Therefore, he is surrounded by people who are not adept at controlling the narrative. Maybe that's their fault, and maybe Donald should have known better. But the bottom line is this: if you wanted this not to happen, you could have had a Kasich, you could have had a Rubio, but then you wouldn't have had the phenomenon, you wouldn't have the revolution.
You'd probably have Clinton.
And you would probably have Clinton. So you take the good.
And now we have less ISIS.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So you have the good, which is you have this, it's a phenomenon. Trump is a phenomenon, and you're seeing things happen like ISIS. And but the downside is you're going to have this stuff going on forever because they don't know how to deal with it because they're not insiders. You elected an outsider. This is not a bug in the system. This is the system, and we just have to deal with it, and we have to get over it. The hyperventilation on the other networks is insane. I mean, have you seen them lately? I worry about their health.
But you can, yesterday you saw it at fever pitch, and today you can even see the temperature come down at least half a degree from what it was yesterday.
But they will find something new. They will find this Wall Street Journal piece that came out. Everybody's screaming about it, and then you read it, and you try to find. There's nothing in there. At least I couldn't find it.
The Wall Street Journal piece is basically saying that the Russians were trying to infiltrate into the campaigns just to see who might. Well, they were trying to listen in, and we found out the Russians were talking about the Trump campaign, but we have known that.
Yeah, we have.
But
that was like something that was the tick boom on Twitter that everybody. Oh, this is fine. This is the other.
It was sort of like a lip.
Yeah, I think there are two other stories that are interesting. One is McClatchy reporting that, in fact, there's concern that the Russians were given information about various districts where there were vulnerabilities for Clinton, where there were weaknesses, and then those districts saw an increase of the kind of hacking and emails being sent in, specifically targeted at blacks, women, that decrease Hillary Clinton's vote. Now, that would be cooperating and urging on a foreign power. So you guys say, well, there's no treason and Democrats look silly, and I agree. But that's not to say that there's not real problems here. I mean, even, you know what, for me, as a Democrat, I look to see what are Republicans saying. When are Republicans going to become critical? And today you had National Review saying basically, you know, Russian collusion is no longer just a tinfoil conspiracy theory. No American, Republican or Democrat, should defend the intent of Donald Trump's meeting. I mean,
well, even Donald Trump Jr. said he would have done it differently. If hindsight being 2020, he even said that.
Yeah, but I mean, Jesse says that he was duped. He wasn't duped. He saw an email that said this
It was a
woman.
sloppy meeting.
No,
They
no, no.
came
This
to
woman
him.
is coming
He only
with
did it because he was
information.
boys with the guy that did the hookup. He
No,
doesn't
no.
know this person.
Well, why
and
would
the
you-
meeting
but
fizzled out
but
after 30 minutes.
Jesse, the email said this. She's coming with information directly from the Russian
Sad,
government.
because this
And
party
you know what?
is going down the toilet. They don't get it. And by the way, now people within your party, Juan, are saying this Russia story is a total loser. Okay? You guys don't have the Senate. You don't have the House. You certainly don't have the Oval. You keep chasing this story. You have Bernie Sanders, who, he's not a closer either. Hillary's going to try and ruin the party again and hide out and eat Scooby snacks in the van and lose another election. If I were you guys, I'd be freaking out. It's not going well. It's really not going well.
I think from what
Just
I
saying, I
read,
didn't want to
I
help
think
your
who's
team,
not
but
going well for, and I don't care what your political affiliation, this president's White House is not doing the job. It's not delivering for
well, he
Republicans.
needs to get some better
Juan.
people in to be able to deliver what he promised the working men and women across this country.
Kimberly Guilfoyle just said that she thinks President Trump should get better people.
Yes, I think he should get better people in. He needs to fill the positions that are there, and he knows that.
And I wouldn't pay too much attention
this is
to
not a
we
newsflash to the
need
president.
Senate Republicans because they're going to run for the hills. The smallest whiff of
Oh,
controversy.
you think Senate Republicans are going to run for the Hill?
And House Senate and
I don't
House
see
Republicans.
I don't see any evidence.
I have a
of that.
question. I've watched them all day. They're like, "Oh, I'm very concerned about this.
Yeah,
very concerned
but
about this."
they're not turning away from Donald
You know,
Trump.
Oh, they will the first time the
I'm
thing
going to ask the
drops.
dumbest question because I
Please.
like asking dumb questions.
Yeah, good at it.
How come a citizen cannot engage in a practice that a reporter can? A reporter can go to a meeting, and if he gets some information, that person's a whistleblower. You're a hero. Pentagon Papers. It's Snowden. It's everything. But then if Trump Jr., who is a citizen, not involved in a campaign, does it, it's called collusion. When in fact, if he had found something, he could have been our Chelsea Manning, and he could have been a hero. But no, he's collusion. A reporter, however, is a hero. They make a movie about you.
But
I think
he
if
wasn't
a
about
foreign government, just hypothetical,
Yes.
if a foreign government comes to you with information to damage another American,
Yes?
I would not do it.
Oh, I would. In a second. Oh, wait, so